Hello, good evening, everyone, you lovely people. This is Diabolical, and seeing as I cannot shut the hell up about Homestuck, I will double down by playing Pesterquest. It's basically a visual novel of Homestuck, where you befriend all of the characters, or a good chunk of the characters, right? So that's fun. This shall be fun. It's the first time I boot it up since I bought it. I don't think it was around this time last year, or maybe it was. Sometime around the last quarter or third of the year 2025, definitely. I bought it along with Friend Sim and the two acts of Hive Swap, right? They're called acts, right? I think so. So anyway, yeah, Pesterquest, pretty nifty, pretty cool. Yeah, right. So anyway, start. So yeah, we'll be reading all of this. Not sure how many parts this is going to be, but plenty. Anyway, Volume 1, Magic is fucking real. Also, it is, I think, 1 in the morning, so hopefully I still have the, the strength to do this. It's been a long time coming. You click to the last page of the Homestuck Epilogues, or Epilogues. You read it, then you read it again. You scroll down to go to the next section and find nothing? The little blue arrow you crave is nowhere to be found. What the fuck? Are you serious? What kind of ending was that? Absolutely nothing got resolved. You stand up so fast your chair falls over. Jesus Christ, are you steamed? Maybe eventually, with further thought, you'll come to appreciate the thematic elements and contributions to narrative convention. But as of right now, you need to understand. What happened to Great. What happened to Dead John? What about Rose and Kanaya and their marriage? What about Teresi and Briska? And he's pissed. God, you have to have words with someone. Stumping out of the little computer room, you blink a few times, trying to readjust to the dim parlor after staring at a screen for so long. Doc Scratch? Where's that creepy round motherfucker? You sure got his number now. You know all about how he ruined the lives of 8 human kids and 12 trolls, how he played everybody, including you. The very least he owes you is a satisfying conclusion to this story. You march confidently down the hall in the direction of a sudden ruckus. Turning the corner, you see 2 figures. One is definitely Doc Scratch. The other is a dark silhouette in a fashionable hat and coat. While you watch, the latter begins to hit the former with a cane. Oh, god damn it. You know what's happening. You know some lore. You need to get out of here before this place goes up in flames. Survive now, yell about unsatisfactory narratives later. With that in mind, you leap behind this ridiculous altercation, trampling a pile of notes and photographs underfoot as you make a run for the fenestrated wall. See ya, suckers! You sail through feet first, bracing for the smell of overturned earth and the sight of the twin alternate moons. Man, it's going to be good to see your friends again, especially now that you're armed with all of this canon knowledge. But what surrounds you is not Vozzer's course field. It's a whole lot of nothing. Are you lost between worlds or something? Fozzer. If that is some Hive Swap stuff, I'm blank, completely blank on it. I know nothing about Hive Swap, sorry. Wait, no. You see a glimmer in the distance, a bright white light. Swallowing down the surge of panic, you move towards it. Oh, it's the Juju thing. The light coalesces into the form of a small symbolic house. Hey, you recognize this house. You wonder if you can just sorta... Oh, okay. Well, you did that. A barrage of images hits you. Broken, chaotic flashes too fractured to make sense of. You just stuck your hand into the most powerful item in the whole of this narrative, and your body is not taking it well. Bright, sizzling pain hits the nerve center of your brain and radiates to your extremities. Radiates? Shit. Wow, you're a moron. You're not a comic character. You're not meant for this sort of metatextual energy. It hurts. It burns. It unravels you from the inside out. And then everything goes white. Okay. Oh shit. What a lovely morning. The air is fresh and crisp. It's early spring, probably. You find yourself on the sidewalk in a suburban neighborhood, facing a neat, friendly house. A neat, friendly boy stands at the window on the second floor, looking down at you. At least, you hope he's friendly. Man, you would really love to be his friend. At first, you think the boy's looking at you, but instead he appears to be looking at the mailbox, which is stuffed so full that the door is half open. Looks like someone crammed a whole box in there. In here, sorry. Helpfully, you pull it out, along with a couple of coupons and envelopes stamped with a green symbol. You go to give the boy a thumbs up, but he's no longer at the window. Memory prickles at the corners of your awareness. You feel like you have maybe done this before? While you're standing there ruminating, a car pulls up. The driver is wearing a hat and a suit, and is probably the owner of this house and the father of that friendly boy. Oh shit, you're just standing out here with all his mail. He's gonna think you're trying to rob the place. I played cool, I guess. Not wanting to behave like a complete buffoon and draw attention to yourself, you just hide all the mail stuff behind your back. Wait, no, I didn't. Oh no. I'm reading this. No, I think I fucked up. There's a bunch of envelopes though, and the box is bulky, so all of it sorta slithers from your grasp like a bunch of dead snakes. The distinguished man in his flawless suit looks at you from across the yard. You can't see his eyes under the brim of his hat, but you are absolutely sure he is giving you a look of intense, fatherly disapproval. A bolt of shame goes through you. Wow, this guy is good. He's not even your dad and you are just losing it under his disapproval. You expect him to start shouting or calling the cops. You're so obviously stealing his mail. But instead, he just keeps looking at you. Does he know you? Is he someone you should remember? Or is it just the platonic ideal of dadliness that crosses time and space, eternal in all iterations of reality? Sounds like some bullshit, though. Slowly, the distinguished man shakes his head. He goes inside. You can't quite put your finger on why, but you know you have been summarily dismissed. Fuck, great. Alright, we did a bad ending speedrun. Fucking amazing. Played cool. No, hide the evidence, sorry. Quick as you can, you turn around and dump everything in the sewer. Whatever. It was probably all garbage anyway. Who even uses their mailbox these days? The friendly and fatherly figure parks his car, climbs out, and tips his hat at you. Then he walks into the house, not sensing a single thing amiss. The perfect crime. Oh, but here comes the boy out the front door. God, you hope he wasn't coming down for the mail. A residential boy approaches. Hey, that's not a boy, that's a man. Wait a minute. This is not the same boy you saw peeking through the window. It possibly is not a boy at all. He appears to be a mysterious gentleman. You wonder what business this fine upstanding neighborhood gentleman would have of you. Hey! I saw you standing out here messing with the mailbox. I figured you might be the mailman, even though you're not wearing a mailman outfit. Oh, yeah, that's you. You're definitely the mailman. Your outfit is, it's in the laundry today. You're just wearing your mailman hoodie instead. See the symbol? It's the symbol of, mail. Nothing stops the mail. That's great. I guess it is true after all that mailmen are completely relentless in their quest to deliver people's mail. You guys are incredible. Speaking of mail, do you know if I got any today? What? No. What rip package? You haven't seen anything like that. No bills, junk mail, nothing at all. The mailbox was empty when you looked inside. Well, I didn't say anything about a red package. Should I be expecting one? Come to think of it, it is my birthday, so getting a package in the mail would make sense. And if it's red, that probably means it's from Dave. He loves red, because I guess it's cool. Oh man, I wonder what he got me. Nothing. He got you nothing, you say. Isn't he listening? This Dave fellow probably forgot his birthday due to being a bad friend. And that's why there's no package, red or otherwise. What? Oh, just kidding, you say. You're sure Dave is a great friend who cares about this kid a lot. His present is probably just late, and definitely not slowly sinking in a subterranean river of shit right now. It's not... What? That's a strange thing to say. Are you sure you don't know more about Dave's present than you're telling me? No, you say. Absolutely not. Actually, he should forget what he said about the present being late. He should not be expecting a red package. Not now or ever. He should trust you, because all mailmen know everything about the mail. Dang. So, nothing else? Huh? You said the box was empty? I don't think I understand. Isn't that how it always is when you deliver mail? I mean, you're the guy who's supposed to put stuff in there. Yes, that's right, you are the mailman, the absolute authority over all mail, which means your word must be accepted without question when it comes to the mail he didn't get today. You double-checked and everything. You looked thoroughly through your mailbag for anything with this kid's name on it, and came up empty. Sorry, dude. You have a mailbag? Where is it? That old thing? You accidentally dropped it in the sewer before the boy came outside. Oh no, that sucks. All that mail, ruined. Maybe I can help you fish it out. No, you mean, that's fine. Thanks for offering, fine young Samaritan. But, the government will handle this. There's like insurance and such for sewer-related postal mishaps. Oh, yeah, that makes sense. But what if you miss something in there for me? Like a game envelope or such. Are you totally sure you didn't miss something? Yes, you're sure. You triple-checked and didn't see his name on anything. Besides, it's really rank down there. Very sewery. All the mail has been befouled beyond any hope of salvaging it. Really, it's best not to bother even peeking inside. You're probably right, but hey, how do you know there wasn't any mail for me if you don't know my name? What? Oh, god damn it. Huh? Oh, you mean, of course you know his name. Mailmen are sort of like Santa Claus. They know the names of all good little boys on their delivery routes. Wait, okay, that sounded creepy. You really regret phrasing it like that. It was so completely unnecessary. You just know a lot of stuff as an important government official with lots of bureaucratic lists and such. What do you mean John is not a good little boy? What the fuck's wrong with you? Get the hell out of here. For instance, the name of this young man is... Damn, why do you always paint yourself into corners like this? All you're trying to do is make a new friend, and you somehow manage to bullshit your way through the absolute most challenging version of this conversation possible. Okay, you can do this. This young man's name is... Wow, it really could be anything. You might as well have been given a random-ass name this very day. Shortly before you arrive, for all you know, you'll just have to go with your gut and feel it out. A new friendship is on the line. His name is, Wait, no, he's making a bad face. You're on the wrong track. He's breaking up. This is good. No, bad face again. It's not Jimmy or, Jilliam. It's not even a name. Anyway, yes, he likes that. Remy Chid. He looks disgusted. Bored. John Remy. You really can be quite the fucking idiot sometimes. Jonderson. Wait, he looked pleased for a minute, then it looked like he just sucked on a lemon. Jesus Christ, you're bad at this. You were close there. Bill. Yikes, no. You got it. It's just John, of course. You don't know what you were even thinking. Yes, you do. Those were just goofs. You explain to John. Mailmen love goofs. His name is John, you say confidently, as if you had it in the bag all along. Not your non-existent mailbag, which you told him you dropped in the sewer. Your real bag, where the good shit is. Such as your incredible ability to guess someone's name in 5 or 6 tries. That's right. Wow, I guess it's true then. Mailmen really do know practically everything. You smile. Finally, it feels like this friendship may be starting to click. It was rocky there for a while, as you had to spin an intricate, nearly flawless web of lies to smooth over the fact that you destroyed his cherished personal property. But you're pretty sure you're in the clear now, and you'll never have to justify yourself to him again. Well, as nice as it is to meet you, Mr. Mailman, to be honest, this just kinda sucks. I've been waiting for a really cool game to arrive in the mail, but it's been a few days already, and now I'm starting to think it got lost in the mail. It might just never come now, and I'm kinda bummed out about it. I had some hope it would show up on my birthday as, like, a present? From nobody, really. Just a present out of thin air, I guess. Like it was going to be destiny or something. Oh well, I guess magic really is as fake as all the scientists say it is. You nod along very wisely. Oh yes, you say, you can kiss that game goodbye. It definitely got lost in the mail, and it is never ever going to be delivered. The Postmaster General just told you a few seconds ago. Through your wireless earpiece, which is hooked up to the US parcel mainframe. You tell John he is right to disbelieve in magic. It is fake as shit. It's time for him to get used to the idea that he will never play this game. Whatever it was. It was probably stupid anyway. Most games are. He should try to get used to whatever kind of life he is going to live from now on in the absence of this dumb video game. Yeah, you're right. I think I got too worked up about it. It probably does suck, actually. I think GameBro only gave it like 2 hats out of 5. It might have been even less than that, actually. God, what a piece of shit it probably was. You know, I think I have to thank you, Mr. Mailman. You've really opened my eyes today. I'm going to forget I ever heard of that dumb game and just try to enjoy my life. Talk to my friends, hang out in my room, and I don't know. Come to think of it, maybe I was looking forward to playing that game with my friends so much because I'm lonely. I'm almost a little embarrassed to admit. I don't actually have any real-life friends. Oh, this is it. This is your in. This nice boy seems to be jonesing for a friendship just as much as you are, and you've laid all the groundwork for becoming his best bro so expertly. You just need to slide right into his life with just a few more sympathetic remarks. You actually have a lot of experience with this by now. You've made so many friends in so many strange places, and with such mixed results... Oh, I've completely messed that up. And with such mixed results. Or you think you did? Actually, you can't conjure up any of their names or faces right now. It probably isn't important. Actually, let's never speak of that again. What matters most is you're here now, making a sweet new pal named John. You actually mentioned that this is the end of your mail route, and you don't have much else going on in your life. Maybe, you and he can hang out for a while? If he doesn't mind, that is. You want to hang out with me? Like, just a mailman and a 13-year-old boy just being buddies? You shrug a little, as if you don't care much, but you really, really care. Normally I would say that sounds a little strange and maybe slightly inappropriate, but what do I know? If you were a normal-looking mailman, that would probably be a shitty idea, and I will get in trouble with my dad or the authorities or something. And probably so would you. But you seem different. Like maybe you aren't even a person? Just a kind of weird, harmless-looking guy? Like an alien, but not really? You don't really know what to say to any of this. Oh man, I'm being so fucking rude. I'm sorry. Yeah, of course we can hang out. But maybe we should, keep this sort of a secret from my dad. I don't know if he would approve of me bringing a stranger into the house, even if you're very nice and sincerely concerned about my mail problems. That sounds fine with you. Now that you think about it, you still aren't sure his dad didn't see you dumping all their mail into the sewer. He probably didn't. Otherwise, he would have had some words with you, surely. But still, it's a risk you shouldn't be taking under these delicate circumstances. There's a friendship on the line. Okay, I'm glad you agree. It sounds like we have a sneaky mission ahead of us. Actually, it sounds like it could be fun. Oh yeah, it does sound fun. Except maybe slightly triggering since you've done a lot of dangerous high-stakes sneaking in the past that you can't quite remember. But still, fun. Mostly fun. You You can wait. Yeah. So, how should we do this? We could either sneak upstairs to my bedroom while avoiding my dad and just hang out up there for a while, or if that sounds too risky, we could just stay outside. I got some sweet playground equipment in the backyard. What will it be? Playground equipment, I guess. Actually, you tell John you think the fresh air out here will do you some good. Also, the playground equipment he mentioned really sweetens the pot. You hope he doesn't mind. After all, as a mailman, you were meant to be outdoors. You took a mailman's oath and everything. Yeah. John will probably believe that. Sure, no problem. I totally understand. It gets really stuffy in there, especially with all the baking my dad does. We can hang out in my yard. Feels like it's been ages since I took a spin on the old pogo ride. Pogo ride, he says. Well, that just seals the deal. You bow flamboyantly and gesture for him to lead the way, but you quickly regret doing that because it was a little too much. Well, here it is, my backyard in all its glory. I hardly ever come out here anymore, honestly. There's the old trusty swing set. Brings back some good memories. And there's the pogo ride. You better hop on before I beat you to it. Just kidding. That thing is a death trap. You should really go nowhere near that thing, unless you like dying. Oblivious to the humorous nature of his remark, you shake your head solemnly. Oh no, you say. You're pretty sure dying sucks, and you never want to do it again. Huh? That's a weird thing to say. Are you saying you've died before? Or is this some sort of weird mailman joke? Oh, yeah. You mailman like to joke around a lot, sometimes very darkly. It gets very stressful delivering the mail sometimes, and sometimes you just need to blow off some steam by making light of your mortality and... Doesn't seem like this is going over well. To be fair, it is one of your worst explanations so far, and that is really saying something. You start to falter and lose composure. You don't seem to have it in you to follow through with a lie. You stop talking and hang your head. Hey, what's wrong? You decide to tell him the truth. Yes, you've been dead before, possibly a bunch of times. You're not sure. Actually, you can't remember any of the circumstances surrounding your deaths, and you're not even sure who you are. Frankly, you're a little confused by your own existence sometimes. Oh no. Well, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't a little hard to believe. But I'll listen to what you have to say anyway, because that's what friends are for. How did that happen? Oh, well. You cast your mind back as hard as you can. You really give it a good, hard think. You remember a room and a computer screen, and just this really intense feeling of frustration. A computer screen? I get being very frustrated at a computer screen. I do that every day. Yeah, he gets it. It's written all over his face. This is a boy who feels your pain. He's following you perfectly. I'm not really following. Then you explain how you ended up in the afterlife. Afterlife? I'm pretty sure it was the afterlife. Maybe heaven? It was a little too freaky for heaven, but you were alone. Then you found a mysterious artifact on the ground. You found a mysterious artifact? In hell? Yes, it was wide and flat and lying on the ground, as if it was just waiting for you, or waiting for someone else, maybe. But you found it first by accident? You find it hard to believe you were destined for any cursed treasure such as this. Perhaps the artifact belonged to Lucifer himself. Lucifer? Wow. Oh, you didn't realize you said the Lucifer thing out loud. Maybe you should consider reeling this in a bit. You're beginning to wonder if you're coming off as a little unhinged here. Except John is clearly transfixed by your story, and looking a little concerned. You guess there's no going back now. You've committed yourself to the truth, as insane as it sounds. So you saw something weird. It looked like a little house. The obvious thing to do was to stick your hand inside the house. So that's what you did. Then you felt funny, and teleported out of hell. That's how you ended up here, on Earth. Where, you then became a mailman, and decided to have a long and rewarding career of delivering the mail. And then you met John, and now you're basically best friends. The end. This all sounds pretty fucked up. Yes, it does, doesn't it? You're right back to feeling like a crazy person again. He probably doesn't believe you. Seems like you're going to have to take this even further, or risk eroding the foundation of trust this blossoming friendship is built on. You mentioned that you're pretty sure the devil's treasure gave you some magic powers. Magic powers? Like what? You're not sure. You can sort of teleport now? Also, you're pretty sure you can time travel. You haven't tested it out much, you admit. Teleportation and time travel, huh? That is... a lot. You can prove it, you say desperately. Suddenly, it feels like this friendship is hanging by a thread, and you'll do anything to preserve it. It's time to bring out the big guns. The revelation to this boy that, contrary to all known scientific wisdom, magic is far from fake. It is real as shit. So he first says that magic is fake as shit, and then that it is actually real as shit. For instance, you remind him that you both almost went up to his bedroom, but decided not to, because the trek across the house was too risky. But what if you could just teleport there? Sounds like a handy trick. I'm still guessing this is all bullshit though, like a prank. That's okay though, I love pranks. But it's no prank, at least you think. You've never actually tested his power at all. God, you hope you don't end up making a fool of yourself. Everything is riding on this. Hey, what are you? Here goes nothing. Whoa! It worked. Unbelievable. Do you know what this means, Mr. Mailman? You shake your head. It means magic is fucking real. You shrug. You guess it is. You won't admit it, but all you really care about right now is the fact that you saved the friendship. It should be all smooth sailing from here. Well, it's a pretty good thing I met you, because if you didn't show up, I'm pretty sure that nothing anywhere close to being this incredible would ever have happened to me. You consider that remark for a moment, and decide you absolutely agree. You're definitely the best and most exciting thing that will ever happen to this kid. You also said something about time travel? Can we try that too? Or would that be too disruptive to the space-time continuum? You have him eating out of the palm of your hand now. You don't need to slow this train down. Continuum, schmontinium, whatever your new friend wants, he gets. Oh, I know. Why don't we just go back in time by about a week? And we can stay right here. That way we won't risk messing up anything important. Sure, that makes sense. You get ready to use your new hell power and concentrate as hard as you can on the idea of 1 week ago. That's probably how it works. Not much changed. Except, wait, the cakes are gone. Must mean it isn't my birthday yet, which means it worked. This is 1 week ago. Wow. Oh, fuck. Parentheses, John. Oh no. Oh, for fuck's sake. I forgot. Of course there was going to be a past me in the room a week ago. God, I'm such an idiot. This is going to fuck things up, isn't it? What the hell's going on here? Whatever it is, it seems really stupid. You're right, John. It is stupid. Sorry, I wasn't using my head. Don't worry, we'll get out of your hair. Hey, quick, let's step out to your yard so we fuck up space-time as little as possible. Phew. Well, that was dumb. Maybe let's try to avoid using your time travel powers from now on. It could really lead to a lot of messy bullshit. You wholeheartedly agree. All you really want to do is make friends, not clown around through space-time. Meanwhile, I guess we're still a week in the past, but now just standing in my yard doing nothing. This seems pointless. We should probably head back to the present. You nod. It was an interesting experiment, and it bought you a lot of credibility. But it's time to... Wait a minute. Something's wrong. There's a slight buzzing in the air. You can feel it. What's the matter? You tell him you think someone's coming. Quick, you have to hide. Whoa, okay. You and John dash into a neighbor's yard and hide behind the fence. You peek into the backyard to see what's happening. Suddenly, you see it. That energy you were feeling was a whole group of teenagers randomly teleporting into John's backyard. What the fuck? You examine them more closely. They're all dressed in ridiculous, colorful outfits. Oh shit, wait, hold on. This is... Ooh, no, this is another, like, epilogue spoiler. You'll see in a minute. Is the circus in town? There did seem to be a lot of clowns in John's house. Maybe this house is some kind of globally recognized headquarters for traveling clowns. But they're not really clowns, just teens wearing strange pajama-looking clothes. 8 of them, to be precise, yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, I'll shut up. On closer inspection, one of them seems familiar. The guy in the blue pajamas. You think it's your new friend John? But he seems older. Definitely not a 13-year-old kid, like your buddy here. None of them are. They all appear to settle in for a while to talk amongst themselves. The guy in the yellow Speedo gets down to business on the... Of course Jake does that. Goes down to business on the pogo ride, totally oblivious to its dangers. There seems to be a serious atmosphere hanging over this group of teens. Important discussions are happening. It's completely baffling to you, and by the look on your body's face, to John as well. Subtly, an uneasy feeling settles over you, like you're witnessing something that was never meant to be seen by anyone. Perhaps a rendezvous point established by this group of teens for exactly that reason, that no one would think of watching this quiet suburban backyard right now. I'm not sure why I changed the words there. Should you stay and listen, or go? You're not sure what to do. You can't shake the feeling that something highly inappropriate is happening here, just by watching. Like you're beholding a moment so divorced from an authoritative chain of events that to even witness this moment is not only narratively compromising, but extremely cursed. Hey, is that guy in the blue pajamas me? You pat John on the back. You can only imagine what's going through his head right now. He hasn't seen a time travel duplicate of himself in, well, minutes. Man, I look so much older. What am I even wearing? And how are all these people... Wait, I know some of them. That's Rose and Dave and... Jade? With dog ears? I don't know the others though. Wait, I know what's going on. They must be from the future. It is the only explanation, especially since we just did some time travel ourselves, thus proving magic to be real. Did you have something to do with this, Mr. Mailman? You shake your head. You're just as surprised by this nonsense as he is. It seems one or more people from this group have somehow obtained similar abilities offered by the hell treasure you touched. I guess they're all from a few years in the future, when we are all a bunch of older, cooler teenagers. Maybe we all go to college together or something. Maybe that's where we make these 4 new friends. There's something familiar about all of them, but I can't put my finger on it. But why do we look so ridiculous? Did I join a troupe of traveling street performers, thus following in the footsteps of my father, and somehow managed to rope everyone into the act, including Dave and Rose, who almost certainly would think the idea was really stupid even though it clearly isn't, and it's great and cool, while somehow also involving time travel? I don't know. I'm so confused. What are they even doing here? Did this really happen just outside my house 1 week ago, without me knowing about it at all? What else have I been missing? How much more is there to know about the future adventures of me and my friends, which has been taking place in secret like this? I wonder if there's a lot more to my life than I ever could have imagined. Actually, I should probably be thanking you. If you hadn't told me my game got lost in the mail, I might have gotten way too hung up on it. That might have totally altered the trajectory of my life. Then I wouldn't get to go on whatever sweet adventures happen in the future that will lead me to wear a bunch of silly pajamas and apparently speak with great authority in front of a group of very cool teens. You bow your head contemplatively, as if to say, you're welcome. You're welcome for your entire life, and every cool thing that ever happens to you from now on. After some time passes, the group of teens seems to finish up whatever business they had in this yard and disappear into thin air. You guess that's the end of whatever that was. Since there isn't much point to staying here a week in the past, you decide to return John to the present moment. Well, that was interesting. We were a little too far away to hear what they were saying. I think I kept overhearing the word... English? I wonder if some of those teens speak a foreign language. Was I teaching them English? This sure is some shitty speculation. It makes no sense at all. I guess the only thing to do is wait until I become that John, and then find out for myself. Sounds exciting, but also a little overwhelming. Damn, I'm going to need to think about this. You watch as John spaces out for a solid minute, thinking about his absurd future. You glance towards the swing set, wondering if the fun times John had planned for you are going to continue to recede further into the distance as he comes to grips with his mysterious destiny. You cough a little, to snap him out of his stupor. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Mailman. I know I said we would do something fun, but now I think I'm in kind of an existential mood. I should take a walk and think about what just happened today. I feel weird. It's nothing personal and just need some space. Well, see you. Poor sweet John. Vague existential crisis. I just realized I didn't save on the thing here. Alright, let's go inside. When you enter the house, an overwhelming odor of freshly baked cakes hits you like a punch in the face. Wow, there is also a lot of clown bullshit in this living room. Clown statues, and you don't have time to take it all in because your buddy John is grabbing your hand and rushing you upstairs before his baking maniac of a father can emerge from the kitchen and catch you in the act. He slams the bedroom door behind you and breathes a sigh of relief. Phew, hard to catch a moment of peace around here. What with all this adoring, fatherly doting, and around-the-clock cake production. I feel like I'm suffocating around here, and it's not just because the thick aroma of Betty Crocker products makes me feel like I'm being gassed in a bakery. You're not sure what to say. You tentatively lift your arm as if you're about to place it on his shoulder, but you hesitate. Is this an abusive domestic situation? You don't know if you have enough information to make that judgment yet, but you are concerned. Just joking around. I mean, this baking shit is all a bit much. The clown obsession too, but I love my dad. He's great. Sorry, I didn't mean to give the wrong impression. That's a relief, you guess. Not that you weren't ready to jump in and be whatever kind of supportive friend this boy needs. Suddenly you notice a bunch of movie posters on the wall. Oh, wow. These are all really bad. You won't dare say such a thing to your new friend, though. You immediately begin lavishing praise on all of them, especially that one which appears to be Mac and me. For fuck's sake. When it rains, it pours, you guys. Nevertheless, you insist it is one of humanity's peak cinematic achievements. Mac and me? You seriously like it? Personally, I think it's a piece of shit. I just have it up there because, well, I don't even know why. Not even I can defend the film. To each his own, I guess. I'm happy to hear you like all the other movies, though. They're all incredible. You have good taste. Except for liking Mac and me, though. It's complete garbage. Okay, you can admit you got a little overzealous there. Maybe dial it down a notch? You really don't have to try so hard. There is a moment of awkward silence. You hadn't really thought this far ahead, and apparently neither has John. There must be something you can both do to advance this friendship. He's starting to look self-conscious now. Poor, friendless kid really doesn't know how to entertain anyone in his home, does he? You can see now that your friendship is needed now more than ever. You have to step up. So, what do you typically like to, Suddenly something gets John's attention. It's coming from his computer. Oh, hey, can you hang on a sec? My buddy Dave is pestering me. John settles behind his desk. Dude, what are you doing? Dave, you'll never guess what I'm doing right now. Are you opening the birthday present I got you? Oh, no, sorry, Dave. I think your present got lost in the mail. Unfortunately, I think it might be gone forever. John, what the fuck? Maybe you can just send me another one? Whatever it was? Dude, no. The thing I got you was fucking priceless and irreplaceable. If it's lost in the mail, then there's literally zero chance you will ever see another one like it ever again in any shape or form. Wow. That sucks. Oh well, whatever. To be honest, that's probably the fate it deserves. What was it? Never mind, just some more ironic trash from your best and coolest bro in the world, just forget it. If I tell you, you would probably be sad it's gone, so this is a secret I'll take with me to my fucking grave. Do you understand, Egbert? Yeah, that's fair. So, what are you really up to? Are you playing that dumb game with Rose yet? What? No. That got lost in the mail too. It's also gone forever. Holy fucking shit, John. I leave you alone for 2 seconds and everything goes to hell. This is why I can't stop pestering you for even a second. You just lose complete control of your life the moment I turn my back. How do you even know it got lost in the mail? Like, how can that even be formally verified in any way? You haven't even been waiting for it that long. Because the mailman told me so. What? Okay, I know I say this almost every day, but that actually is the dumbest thing I ever fucking heard. It's true, he was quite sure about it. First of all, John, mailmen don't know shit. They're just guys who walk around handing out letters and stuff. They have zero knowledge of the greater workings of the mail, let alone the specific fate of any given package. Unless there's a tracking number or some shit, but even then, the mailman isn't really the guy who deals with that. The only way a mailman would know for sure if some mail got lost is if he was the one who lost it, or, like, deliberately fucking destroyed it. Between the game and my sweet present going missing, something smells goddamn fishy here. John, are you sure the mailman didn't just steal all your shit? Of course I am. I don't know, man. He wasn't even holding anything when I talked to him, not even a mailbag. My alarm bells are going fucking haywire here. Sounds like this incompetent dipshit just lost all your mail and tried to cover his ass. No! Are you sure you didn't fuck it up somehow, like get mailman stank on it and in a fit of shame and panic like buried it? Or dunked it in a smelly hole? Dave, this is insane. You're being so paranoid. Besides, aside from your birthday present, why do you even care? You think the game is stupid and you don't even want to play. Yeah, well, I was laughing my ass off to sound cool and aloof. Of course I want to play this game. It's like this whole rat thing we were all going to do as friends, and now it's ruined. Oh, you're right. That is a shame. I'm sorry. I don't know, there was just some feeling I had that we needed to play this thing for like destiny reasons or some shit. Sorry to blow my cool cover and start sounding like Jade or whatever, but I'm kind of pissed off now, especially now that I know you won't get your sick bunny. Bunny? Forget I said that. Oh, okay. Anyway, all that aggravating bullshit aside, what were you gonna say? Oh, right. I met a new friend. What? A friend. Bullshit. No, it's true. John, this is so unlike you. You don't have fucking friends. None of us do. We're a bunch of total losers. I know that, but today's a different story. I think I might be branching out a little socially, like turning a corner and becoming a valid and legitimate person, well on his way to adulthood. Come on, Dave. Why can't you just be happy for me? Fine. So you're hanging out with this person right now? Yes, he's in my room. Rummaging through my stuff. He's quite the character. Who is this guy? Please tell me he's not cooler than me. I could not handle that. He's not cooler than you. Nobody is, Dave. Okay, thank God. So tell me about him. Well, you know the mailman I was talking about earlier? Yeah? Well, you see, it's the mailman. Jesus fucking Christ. What, John? No. What's the big deal? Do I even need to explain why a 13-year-old kid shouldn't become buddies with a fucking mailman and hang out with him in his room? Does your dad know about this? Well, no. But I'm trying to avoid him. He's in one of his baking frenzies. You do realize this is the same guy who likely stole your game and my beautiful present, right? He probably sold them in the black market or worse. He did something fucked up like flush them down the toilet. He didn't do that! David, will make no sense to do that. You're being crazy. Okay, dude, but you're the one chilling with a random postal worker in your bedroom on your birthday. I'm just looking out for you. What sort of sick fuck would even want to come in your house? How old is this fucking guy anyway? I don't know. He seems to be sort of ageless. What? Dave, that's the thing. He's barely even a person. He's just a friend. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Listen, I don't expect you to understand. He's just a fun, harmless person who appears to have no particular defining qualities whatsoever. What is so crazy about that? Nothing, I guess. Don't even know anymore. Fine. Enjoy your new body. It is your birthday after all, so you get to call the shots. So what's next on the agenda? What's he even doing now? Well, it seems he got a little bored while I've been talking to you. He has spread most of my belongings across my bedroom floor to examine everything. And now he's just messing with stuff. Like my magic stuff. It's pretty cute. I like this guy. John, I'm gonna run something by you. I hope I don't blow your mind or anything, but what if this guy isn't even a mailman? What? Dave, no. I refuse to accept that. Okay then, genius. Tell me this. What is he wearing? You said he has no defining qualities. Well, clothes are defining qualities. So what are they? Okay, he isn't wearing anything but a sweatshirt. But I didn't want to mention that because I knew how it would sound. I see. So, no mail uniform, no mailbag, no like fucking mailman hat, just no pants. Yes, but that's not weird or anything. I told you he's like a pet? Shit, that's probably condescending. You know what I mean. Part generic persona type guy and part like just a fun, friendly sort of humanoid creature. I'm really not explaining this well. The point is, he said he's a mailman, and I believe him, because he's my new friend. End of story. Okay, he's the fucking mailman. I don't even care. If you think he's fine, then okay, whatever. So like, cool. Guess we have a new friend. Do I get to meet the mailman sometime, or what? That's a good question. I hope so. I wouldn't be surprised if he found his way over to you. I can't put my finger on it, but something tells me he is a well-traveled fellow. You really think he's going to well-travel his ass 2,000 miles over here to come visit me? You never know, mailmen do get around after all. Shit, that checks out actually. Okay, I'm getting kind of excited now. Yeah, that's what I like to hear. I should probably get going. He's really going at it over there with all my bedroom crap. I don't want to be a rude host. Alright, gonna leave you boys to it. Happy birthday, dude. Thanks, Dave. Aww. We got the Strider approval. Right, Armageddon poster. So you put the rag of souls? Where have I heard that before? Alright, I guess we can do another one. We'll do Rose. Hover over an icon. Yes. By the way, are these, like, blocked or something? Oh, they're not. Fight me, fuckboy. What? Route 2. On the advice of your new friend John, you go to visit one of his close comrades. Close only figuratively speaking, since it seems she lives all the way up on the other side of the country. That's no problem for you though, since your new powers let you hop anywhere, anytime, even to places that don't exist. Well, you think your powers let you do that, you just have this distinct metatextual feeling that you could pretty much go anywhere at this point. You know that doesn't make any sense. There's nothing that doesn't make sense about friendship though, and that's exactly what you're about to do. Friendship, that is. You're about to do some friendship by making a new friend. Her name is, check notes, Rose. This is her house, apparently. Looks kind of weird and modern, and it's situated in the middle of the woods for no good reason you can think of. Also, it's pouring rain, which is not what you would describe as ideal friend-making conditions. Still, nothing stops a mailman, not from delivering mail nor making friends. Rather famously, rain and other similar weather patterns provide no deterrent to the performance of his duty, and there is no duty more important than friendship. Suddenly, a woodland girl approaches. Who goes there? Oh, it's your new friend Rose, obviously. There's literally no one else this could be. You introduce yourself. You're the cool mailman who John told her to expect a visit from soon. You would doff your mail hat to signal a friendly greeting, except recently you accidentally dropped it into a sewer along with all your other mail-specific clothes, as well as all the mail you were supposed to deliver, as you explained to her gratuitously in an unconvincing manner. It's not a great start, you admit, but you've done much worse. You are not a mailman. Yikes! You're busted almost immediately. You briefly consider whether you should double down on the lie and try to say something mailman-like, or whether the right call is to come clean, since she's clearly too smart for this amateur bullshit. But it's taken a few seconds too long for you to decide, which looks guilty as hell. That's it. The jig is up. You slouch in defeat. You ask her if she would please consider not telling John. Your heart could not take it if you found out your entire friendship was based on a lie. You want me to keep a secret from one of my best friends, to protect the feelings of a random buffoon who I've never met before, and arbitrarily showed up to my house in the remote wilderness like a creep? Yes. Yes, that's what you want. It's an interesting proposition, if for no other reason than its audacity. I admire resolve in the face of humiliation. This doesn't mean we're friends, though. Oof. Rough. Well, that's fine. You're hopeful. Your mind is fuzzy, but you think you remember this. You're good at this. You're excellent at making people like you through underhanded means. You can't wait to take advantage of this 13-year-old girl's goodwill. Okay, wow, not like that. Let's not be fucking weird. In fact, let that be the last creepy thought you have for comical purposes. S-grade jokes only. Let's all get our brains out of the gutter. Rose raises a thin brow. There's something unsettling about her deep, violet eyes. I'm pretty sure most humans don't have eyes like that, but what the fuck do you know? You're a stranger around these parts. Wait, aren't you a human too? Whatever, it's not a big deal. Not when there are friends to be made. Or something. Do you want to come inside? Unless I'm interrupting your internal monologue, of course. Far be it from me to ever cut short any sort of navel-gazing sidebar. It's just ever so slightly wet out here. You would absolutely love that. If it's not too much trouble, of course. You wouldn't want to put Rose out. You're lying, though. You're 100% fine with being absolutely infuriatingly obnoxious if it means making a friend. Rose purses her lips, considering. Your predilections towards mailman mimicry weren't all that John told me about. Oh? He also said that you had certain powers. Powers of teleportation and time travel. I told him that he must be mistaken, since it's a well-known and accepted fact that magic, although a popular and highly engaging subject of fiction, is fake as hell. Oh, your savvy powers? No, those are totally real and not fake. Real in a different way than you being a mailman is real, since that is actually made up. Is that so? Prove it. You shrug. Easy enough. You hold out a hand, and after a moment of hesitation, Rose puts her fingers in yours. Her nails are long and sharp, and painted a glossy black. She closes her eyes and her umbrella droops. Should I picture my room, or something similar? I'm not quite sure how this is supposed to work. She still thinks you're fucking with her. You tell her that you guess she can do that if she wants. You zap the two of you inside the big, modern house, and when you open your eyes, you find yourself in a large, messy bedroom. Oh! She drops her umbrella. You really did that. Rose stands in the center of her room in full rain gear. Her boots track muddy prints into the thick white carpet. No, not the carpet. Surprise, you really are magic. Or surprise, Rose puts a small hand against her perfectly painted black lips. She seems momentarily lost for words, and you get the feeling that it's not a thing that happens very often. Her eyes are wide and deeply purple. They're sparkling, you might even say. Oh, hold on, I'll be right back. Stay here. Don't go out into the hall. It's not safe. You tell Rose to take her time. You're happy to just stand here dripping onto her nice, clean floor. She leaves the room and you take the opportunity to examine your surroundings a little more closely. The bed is unmade. Books are strewn over the floor carelessly, and a collection of half-drunk cups of coffee crowd the desk. Half-finished knitting projects lie in soft piles all over the room. In fact, there's a lot of evidence that this room is often occupied by someone with a lot of interests who has trouble settling down and putting her attention to one thing at a time. Man, you relate. Not with interests, but with friends. You can't imagine settling for just one. Rose has a number of posters on her wall, although nowhere near as many as your friend John. A calendar hangs beside the window, days ticked off with little X's, all the way up to 4/13, which is circled. You step closer to read the year date up in the corner. 2009. But what the hell do you care about the date? You can make friends any day of the damn week, rain or shine, night or day. Rose's sure is taking a while out there. She told you that it wasn't safe out in the hall. Maybe she hadn't just been quipping. Maybe she's actually in trouble. What should you do? I don't know, just stay put, I guess. Your patients pace off almost at once. Rose is back, and looking significantly more put together. Also, she's brought you a towel. Here. I am not overly attached to anything in here. It's mostly just childish nonsense I haven't yet bothered to rid myself of. But I would appreciate if you try not to drip on any of the notebooks. She has changed out of a raincoat and boots, and she's dressed in a neat black skirt and a white shirt with a purple blob thing with tentacles. What is it with these kids and their blob shirts? Now that's dealt with. Please sit down. She crosses her legs. You suddenly feel like you're at a job interview. Friend interview. You wish you were a little less damp. Actually, let's switch places. You're still pretty wet. You don't want to get her bedspread messed up. Don't worry about it. That's what washing machines are for. Now, let's talk about magic. which up until now I have always taken for granted as being something confined to storybooks. Rose takes a wistful look towards her bedroom window, grayed over and blurry with raindrops. You get the feeling that she's doing it for effect. Maybe that's why she wanted you to switch places with her. And then comes you, the not a mailman with a penchant for showing up and attempting to make friends with unwitting children. Well, fair. She's got you there. But honestly, she might be a child, but she really doesn't seem to be unwitting. On the contrary, she's really quite witty. I'm glad you noticed. She folds her hands and clears her throat. You think that if she had any notes, she would be shuffling them. And so the question remains, are you a good witch or a bad witch? Or are you a wizard? We've already established that you are not a public servant. Is there a difference between a witch and a wizard? Of course there is, but exactly how specific of a difference can vary. According to some works of fiction, a wizard is just a witch's male counterpart. But in certain mythologies, for instance Arthurian legend, the difference appears to be class-based. Wizards reside at court and are classically trained, while witches are self-taught and run wild through the forest. I won't deny that those differences tend to often be gendered as well. That sucks, yeah. You ask her which one she is, a witch or a wizard. Me? Rose shifts, uncrossing and recrossing her legs. You shrug and say she just seems to know a lot about them. I know a thing or two. But can I tell you a secret? Oh my god, Rose. She has no idea how much you will love to hear her secret. I find them, wizards, utterly reprehensible. They disgust me. Everything from their foppish robes to their grizzled beards. It's my mother who is the wizard enthusiast in this house. Although, she glances from side to side, theatrically. Most of the things she does seem to be at least a little bit theatrical. She kneels on the carpet beside the clutter of books. Or beside. I don't show these to many people. Actually, I haven't shown them to anyone. Not even John? John seemed to be a pretty cool guy. Definitely a guy worth sharing a few secret notebooks with. Rose laughs. No, I haven't shown them to John, and I've only shown Strider to punish him. You nod, pretending that you know who this Strider person is. You're a totally normal dude with an absolutely ungodly number of friends. A shadow moves to the center of you, a trembling moment of deja vu. You do have a lot of friends, don't you? That feels true, but the only people you know here are John and now Rose. Weird. You try to put it out from your mind and listen to Rose again. She's still talking about this mysterious Strider, flipping through one of the journals, too quickly for you to see anything specific, only that it is full from cover to cover. As if my modest writings here are the sole source of homoerotic tension in his life, when his brother is the one who insists on filling their home with assorted dick butt for quote-unquote ironic purposes. Rolls her eyes. Oh boy. You missed the beginning of that. It probably made way more sense than it seemed like. Rose is searching through her notebooks, checking markings on the spine that seemed to be some sort of cataloging system of arcane symbols. Where is... Oh, right. She does something quick and complex with her fingers, and another notebook pops into existence and falls into her lap. You gape. She really is a wizard. What? It's just a Silodex. A child could use one. Here. This notebook has a couple drawings in it, but most of it is filled with small, neat handwriting in lavender ink. Is Rose... writing a book? No, don't be silly. I am writing 4 books at least. 5, depending on whether I decide to flesh out Calmace's backstory. It isn't strictly necessary, but it does add a certain amount of valuable character insight, which renders their actions in later volumes more sympathetic. Not that I need all my anti-heroes to be sympathetic. I'm just thinking of what the literary reviewers would say. You nod. Smart. You would never have thought of what the literary reviewers would say. She's honestly pretty impressive for someone her age. Age has nothing to do with it. But don't get carried away. It's only a rough draft. You ask her if you can take a look. She hesitates. but you doubt she would have shown it to you if she didn't want you to look. What the hell? If you can't trust a strange spherical imprint you met outside in the rain, who can you trust? Right? Your thoughts exactly. Rose hands you the notebook and you open it at random, letting fate guide your hands. Oh boy. Fricklish bothered his beard, as if unkinking a hitch in a long silk windsock. A more pedestrian audience would parse the exhibit as nervous compulsion, behavior to petition contempt among the reasonable. He was, however, not surrounded by the reasonable, but the wise, a distinction in men that would forever be the difference in history's garland of treasured follies. As a matter of fact, his cadre of fellow wizards were all putting similar moves on their beards as well. The practice would evince thoughtfulness, sagacity even, if they didn't do it all the time, standing in line at the bank, shooing squirrels from bird feeders. Few occasions were safe. Sazerpan inspected the clue, a single piece of evidence cradled in his coriaceous old man palms. It was a human bone, not striking in the tale it told alone so much as that told by the thousands like it, festooning the marshy soil of the mass grave. The grisly expanse bore the texture of a decadent dessert, like one of Smarnie's formidable custard trifles wobbled out on wheels for the holidays, to the dismay of a small nation. "You are certain of this?" asked Fricklish. Despite what he was doing with his beard, he was, in fact, immersed in meaningful contemplation. "I am afraid I am becoming more so with each terrible tick groused by that gaudy timepiece slung around your neck." In case it wasn't clear, Fricklish wore a clock Sazerpan didn't care for. It was magic. The massacre of Sire's Nelf was not as written. "Wow, this is pretty dense, but smart. You stroke your own imaginary beard and pretend to ponder the deeper meaning. Yes, intriguing. Sazerpan and Fricklish. Clearly there is some history there." "Yes, clearly. But what the two of them shared went beyond simple romance. That's why it has gone so spectacularly sour." Rose becomes increasingly more animated as she tells you about her gay wizard OZs, like she is far more interested in them than she is in herself. They share an intellectual bond, a mutual dedication to knowledge and the preservation of such. The goal of the learned is to amass their wisdom and keep it from general dissemination into the main populace of the wizards. They feed it to their apprentices in dribs and drafts. Of course, this will eventually lead to ruin. Of course. You flip further in the book, searching for the part where it leads to ruin. Ruin sounds interesting. Sazerpan knew he would see his wayward apprentice again. Knew it like he knew the tide would turn and the sun would blaze to its zenith as each inexorable day passed. Now they stood diametrically opposed across an overgrown chessboard. His apprentice's eyes were hidden behind dark glasses, but Sazerpan knew that if he could see them, they would be riddled with the madness of the void. Calmasis wasn't here for justice or for revenge. They were here exclusively because Sazerpan had something they wanted, something they were owed. You flip through the notebook, checking out the drawings. There are lots of wizards, each more bearded and venerable than the last. One of the pictures, the most recent, maybe, since it's on the very last page of the journal, is of two young wizards, twins maybe. They have gray hair and are wearing slick green suits, and are standing back to back with their arms entwined, staring into the middle distance. It's very anime. You compliment Rose on her artistic prowess. "Yes, thank you. They are all right. I am a much better writer than I am an artist." You tell her you think she's really good. Way better than you. You're absolutely positive she's going to be famous one day. "I appreciate the encouragement. Even though I know you're just trying to flatter me due to your strange thirst for affirmative experiences. John told me all about that." Damn. Busted. But you really do think she's talented. "It's fine. It's not as if my social calendar is overfull out here in the middle of the woods. Don't tell anyone I said that. I don't have many friends. And don't tell him I've been drawing. He'll be insufferable." He? Never mind. You assure Rose that her secrets are safe and hand back her journal. You're really excited about your new friend, if you might be so bold, and her wizard stories. Although, wait, hadn't she said she hated wizards? What is your point? Well, you're no expert on wizards or on Rose, but it seems like she actually does seem to like them, because she has several notebooks full of wizard fiction. You aren't trying to get, real here, but maybe it's possible her mom isn't the only one in the family who likes wizards? Rose pulls her book out of your hands. That, and the rest of the books vanish into thin air. Oh, right, that must have been that... What had she called it? The Silodex? She doesn't look angry, exactly, but the lines around her mouth and eyes that softened as she talked about her book have hardened back up. Her eyes glitter menacingly. Oh, is that right, Freud? Well, why don't you diagnose me? Oh, hey, wow, you weren't trying to be condescending or whatever. Clearly. Were you aware that it is a common psychological phenomenon for an individual to react to trauma by creating fictional representations of that which has caused them bodily harm or emotional dismay? To suggest that the portrayal of these fictional renderings somehow condones them or supports them is absolutely absurd. So what she's saying is that she draws wizards to cope. Oh, wow. Jesus, no. Rose rises regally to her feet. The lightning turns her into an ethereal silhouette. What I am saying is that I don't need to justify my fictional predilections to you or to anyone else. No, she's totally right. You're sorry that you suggested she might like wizards. It was horribly presumptuous and not at all the way a friend should act. You're so sorry. You promise it will never happen again. No, I don't suppose it will. It's probably just because Rose's hair is such a pale blonde, but it almost looks like she's glowing in the dim bedroom. Like light behaves a little differently around her than it does on everything else. Would you look at that? It appears the rain has lightened up a bit. The rain is hitting the window so loudly you're actually having trouble hearing her. And your point is? You can just sab yourself out where the weather is drier. Fuck off. Actually deserved. So what happens if I say no? Man, you guess today is the day you get owned by teens. She's totally right. What are you doing just wandering up to her house without even calling first? It's just totally disrespectful of her time. No need to self-flagellate. It was a simple suggestion to more critically examine your motivations and actions in the future. No, she's right. You're going. You zap away, aiming for a spot half a mile away into the woods, where you can become properly soaked and miserable. But instead of trees, you find yourself standing in front of a bank of computers. Shit, you missed fire. Wait, you remember seeing a big structure off in the distance when you were in front of Rose's house. You figured it was just some sort of office building, but this looks more like a factory or a secret research lab. The computers show coordinates on a screen that don't mean anything to you, or don't. A countdown clock is frozen on 4:13. Yeah, because the whole Esper thing never happened. All of this has the trappings of a tableau someone set up for you to see. I'm not actually sure if that's how you pronounce tableau, I just kinda did it. Turning away from the screens, you wander down a long line of gleaming science fiction equipment. It reminds you of pictures of old computers from the 1950s, the ones that took up entire rooms. You bet you could go back and visit some of those if you zapped hard enough. You wander through a whole maze of halls and wide echoing rooms that aren't pictured because our art budget is only so big, but take it as a certainty that they are all very mysterious. Eventually you circle back to that strange bank of screens. Nervously you hit a few keys, tap a few fingers against the readouts. Nothing. It's all locked down. You think that if you could only get these screens to unlock, you can unravel the secrets to life, the universe, and everything. Or maybe it's your memories you're trying to unlock. Maybe then you'll understand the seething waters of this endless ocean of time and space intertwining with the... Meow. Meow? Meow. You turn around, expecting a cat. And you do get a cat. A very adorable black kitten, tiny and soft, with far more eyes than a cat should have. Aww. But the cat isn't the only thing here. Oh my god, actually visible. Visual novel Rose Mom. Rose's mom. A woman in a sleek white lab coat and sensible heels holds the cat, pinning you to the spot with her gaze. Or at least, you assume she is. Her hair is in her eyes, and the light is behind her, so all you can see of her face are her painted lips. Sorry, ma'am, you absolutely didn't mean to trespass in her secret science lab, and you actually aren't even lying. You really did just fuck up this time. The lady puts the cat down slowly, where it rolls onto its back and bats a paw playfully in the air. Aww, cats are great, even mutant cats. Maybe especially mutant cats? This little guy should have a name. You think you'll name them Cryptid McWhiskers? Yeah, Cryptid McWhiskers is a great name. In fact, you can't imagine anyone ever naming this cat anything else. You hold out a hand to Cryptid McWhiskers and wriggle your fingers. It rolls back on its feet. What? Oh, it rolls back on its feet and saunters over to you. It is as soft and fluffy as it looks, and its 4 eyes blink up at you with utter trust. At least this kitty will be your friend. The ominous clack of heels on cement reminds you that you and Cryptid McWhiskers are not alone. While you are busy with the kitty cat, the very intimidating and well-coiffed lady has walked over to the bank of screens. She presses a button, and it must have some sort of fingerprint recognition or retinal scanning, or maybe she's just better at things than you are, because it works for her. On the floor, a few feet from you, is a round gray protrusion, a platform on the floor. You saw it earlier, but you had no idea what it was for, so you just ignored it. What you don't understand can hurt you, right? You think that's probably right. The intimidating lady presses a button on the screen, mouth turning up at the corners. A pumpkin. A flash and a pop, like the pressure in the room changes. You feel it in your eardrums. A pumpkin appears on the round gray platform. Fuck. You aren't really sure what she's trying to say here. Making a pumpkin appear out of thin air is impressive, but it probably would have been more so if you hadn't been popping in and out of existence all day. It's gonna take more than that pumpkin to impress you. Pumpkin? What pumpkin? Do I just get killed here? The lady shakes her head and hits another button. The pumpkin vanishes, and in its place is a tiger. Yes, you heard that right. A whole-ass tiger. Orange and black. Big teeth and big paws. For a second, the two of you just look at each other. Honestly, the tiger might be more shocked than you are. Kinda sucks to think about. 1 second, you're just chilling on the savannah, mauling antelopes, and drinking at the watering hole. And the next, you're in a secret lab in upstate New York, staring down a very unappetizing looking protagonist. Apparently you're appetizing enough for it to want to get a taste, though, because it looks from you to Cryptid McWhiskers and back again. Then it charges. You try to book it out of there. The lady in the lab coat looms up in front of you. She's saying something. You strain to hear her. The tiger is right behind you. The lady or the tiger? At the last minute you remember you have magic powers, and you choose the third option, teleporting the fuck out of there. Okay. Oh, not again. You just stepped into yet another unknown building, although from the view of the window, you think you might be in Rose's house. Also the fact that Rose turns the corner in the hallway and stops short, still in her rain gear. Her eyes are very wide. You wave awkwardly. That snaps her out of it. She stands up straight, sliding easily from shock to superiority. So you thought you would just let yourself in. After wasting my time mumbling about the mail, a gaudy display of manipulative self-recrimination, and then popping out of existence to leave me asking myself if I had finally lost my mind? You hadn't meant to do any of that, especially not the last part. She isn't losing her mind, unless both of you are losing your minds together. Rose looks you over. Finally, she seems to decide that you are for real. Your predilections towards mailman mimicry weren't all that John told me about. Oh? He also... Wait, okay. So, is this like a seek into going to her bedroom? He also said that you had certain powers. Powers of teleportation and time travel. I told him that he must be mistaken, since it's a well-known and accepted fact that magic, although a popular and highly engaging subject of fiction, is fake as hell. Also, okay, this is new. She's still got her umbrella open. Hey, doesn't she know that's bad luck? Luck is also fake as hell. You say you can do magic. Prove it. But she just saw you vanish out in our front yard. Like I said, I could be losing my mind. She could be losing it now, at this very minute, but you see no point in arguing. You hold out a hand, and after a moment... Okay, yeah. Right. Okay, and then she goes out. Okay, alright. We'll go look for her. That's the option that we haven't clicked on. You're too anxious to sit still, and you're not the sort of person who just sits there and waits for a friend opportunity to fall into their lap. Better to run headlong into danger, or as much danger as a minimalist upper-middle-class house in the middle of the woods can offer. Rose had told you that it isn't safe. You creep out into the hallway, where a bunch of things happen more or less simultaneously. A deluge of quick-time events that you had no idea were coming. Lightning flashes in a perfect jagged line across the tall window at the end of the hall, followed immediately by a crash of thunder, so loud you think the house might be falling down. Abruptly, all the lights go out. Oh shit. Dude. We did see her, and now she's here. Also, but this is Beta Roxy. So Roxy's thing is void, disappearing and appearing, right? We kind of saw that with the pumpkin. I mean, like a sort of metaphor, kinda, like a hint. But here, like the times where she would just pop up out of nowhere in the house, I think that sort of plays into the whole void aspect thing. Same thing with Bro. Wow. I am slow. Anyway. And for a vertiginous moment, you see a long, thin figure superimposed against the window. You freak the fuck out, jumping about a foot in the air and yowling like a cat. A small hand lands on your shoulder and you jump again. Calm down, it's just me. Rose speaks in a normal tone of voice and it's jarring. The house is echoey and cavernous, and there's just something about a dark house on a stormy evening that makes you want to whisper. I told you to stay put for a reason. It's too early for my mother to be sauced enough not to notice random strangers in her house, and I don't want to go through the tedious process of explaining who you are. You have a perfectly understandable reason for why you left, and that reason is that you were lonely. Rose snorts. Cold? You mean you were cold? Well, you are soaking wet. Follow me. She grabs you by the wrist and tows you down the hall. You wonder if you should warn her about the strange, wraith-like creature you saw by the window, but you don't want to freak her out. Although her mom might be a risk too. Whatever, moms are tough. She'll be fine. This probably isn't the first time she's gone toe-to-toe with a weird Slender Man. This house looks haunted as shit. Oh yeah, I'm sure Rose could see Slender Man up in the forest. Rose brings you to a dark laundry room, then motions you to take off your hoodie, which you do, gladly, because it's soaking wet. Rose, there is no power. What the hell are you doing? That's interesting. The design on the front. Does it mean anything? Oh yeah, it is kinda cool. A blue line that zigzags on one end like lightning. Looking at it makes you feel unsettled. You realize Rose is still waiting for a response, so you just hand her the hoodie and tell her no. You're pretty sure it's just an abstract sign. Then you stand there while she tosses a sweatshirt into the dryer, feeling the alarming currents of memory in your bloodstream. You are sure there must be something you forgot to do. You continue to feel weird as Rose hits the dryer button and nothing happens. Fuck! She hits the button a few more times, as if that will make a bit of difference when the power is out. Yeah, what the fuck, Rose? She presses her thumb and forefinger to the bridge of her nose. Well, you're not going to fit into anything of mine. Any clothes of mine? She leads you down she leads you down more long, dark hallways. Man, this house is unreasonably huge. You ask Rose if a lot of people live here. No, it's just me, my mother, and a hoard of liquids not soluble in water. Here, Try not to drip on the carpet. Oh shit, okay. Roxy's bedroom. And a lot of alcohol. You weren't sure how you're supposed to manage that, but okay. This room is large and dark, and when Rose parts the curtains, a flash of lightning illuminates a 4-poster bed, a long counter, and a shelf covered head to foot in bottles. Rose vanishes through another door, leaving you to peruse. This is all liquor. Shit, this is a lot of booze. Here, I'm not sure what you would want to wear, but this should work until the power comes back on and we can dry your clothes. Rose hands you a long silk robe. Ooh. Oh my. She won't miss this. I don't think she's ever even worn it. She has this whole closet full of fantastic clothes that she never puts on. Every day with the lab coat, huh? And then passing out drunk. You take the robe and go into the large master bathroom. It's kind of a mess. The tub looks like it hasn't been cleaned in a long time. The robe gives you the name-knotted feeling of familiarity that looking at your hoodie did, but you put it on anyway. It's a relief to get out of your wet clothes. You hang them carefully on the shower rod. Hey, therapist girl, could you put that bottle down, please? When you head back out to the bedroom, you find Rose standing in front of the wall of liquor. She's holding a bottle of Grey Goose and squinting at the label, like she's trying to read the nutrition facts. I've often wondered what exactly the merits of consuming this are. It tastes quite literally like burning. She opens the bottle, and before you can protest that she is in by no means the legal drinking age in wherever the fuck you are, she puts the bottle to her mouth and takes a sip. She splutters. That's terrible. Could have told her that. Straight vodka isn't for the uninitiated. Even fancy vodka. You take the bottle from her. She hesitates for a moment, then lets it go. You set it back on the shelf. This really is, quite an impressive liquor cabinet. Liquor wall. Liquor room. Her mom must really have a refined palate. Don't strain yourself. You can say it. What's the point of mincing words? She's a fucking alcoholic. Wow, this is intense. You're not sure if you're prepared for something this heavy. You were kind of counting on some silly shenanigans, maybe a couple funny jokes. You're not cut out for this. You get the feeling that at some point you might have been cut out for this. You might have been the sort of person your friends or potential friends could count on. In fact, you know on some level that this is true, but whenever you try to nail down any sort of specifics, you find a gaping lacuna in your experiences. It's all just white noise. Rose's shoulders slump as she stands surveying her mother's bottles. She doesn't even have the decency to hide her distasteful habits. Who needs an entire wall of liquor bottles? She doesn't have people over. She doesn't have any friends. This is all just for me. Just more of her passive-aggressive act as a femme fatale 1950s housewife with a death wish. It's just like the wizards. Wizards? Don't worry about it. You know how long it's been since I've had a home-cooked meal. And I'm not saying that I require or even deserve a lovingly crafted culinary masterpiece every time I sit down to eat. That is going a bit far. Hey, shut up. Everyone deserves that, come on. I know John complains about being plagued by fatherly concern every chance he gets. He is overwhelmed by pastries whenever he ventures from his room. I'm glad my mother doesn't poke her considerable nose into my private affairs. But I'm sick of eating oatmeal. Rose. I told you, don't worry about it. But you will worry about it. You worry about all your friends. All 2 of them. Rose smiles with half of her mouth. It seems to be about all she can manage. Lightning crashes. She looks so small and sad against this wall of bottles. You know how to fix this. Thunder rolls and you clench your fist. A friendship clench. You don't know who you are. You don't know why you're here. But you do know that surely you have these powers for a reason. And what better reason than helping a poor young girl with her troubled home life? Rolling up your floppy sleeves, you get to work. What are you doing? You start with the dark liquors first. In your experiences, those cause worse hangovers and are more likely to contribute to the absence of hot, motherly meals and the overconsumption of oatmeal. Okay. You grab 2 bottles of rum and 1 of bourbon, which you tuck in one armpit. He's just going to get rid of everything like that? Then you zap out of the house and into a clearing in the nearby woods. A couple of hours ago, before it started raining, you drop the bottles and go back for more. Are you just stealing all of my mother's liquor? Is this your solution to her alcoholism? Don't worry, Rose can thank you later. Huh? You go for the tequila next, then the vodka. Then you get sick of this organized approach and just start grabbing whatever the fuck and dumping it in the past. She's on her phone. Rose watches you do this for a while. Then she hops up on the counter, crosses her legs, and starts texting. All the way to the counter, that's a little high. Wow, she's really so intent on her conversation that she is not even noticing you fixing her domestic situation. She keeps giving you little fleeting looks, and you're pretty sure she must be talking about you. You should just let her talk. It isn't right to try to invade your friend's privacy. You attempt to resist the temptation, which you fail at immediately. Not even an overused meme can save you. You step behind her onto... Come on, stop. Why is he like this? You step behind her onto the counter where you can spy on her private correspondence. Oh, it's Jade. I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry. And here was me trying to take advantage of your uncanny ability to make guesses verging on prognostication. I am recently considering a reevaluation on magic. You don't know who this person is. Maybe you should just... go back in time a couple minutes to when Rose started her conversation. Your past self is busily sapping back and forth, carrying liquor bottles. Carrying. You hunker down so you don't see yourself and cause a paradox, or whatever the fuck. Tentacle therapist began pestering guarding Gnostic. Out of a morbid curiosity to shine a light on my future, I come with metaphorical hat in hand to ask you to consult your dream clouds. Do you happen to know anything about a strange cardboard-cut creature masquerading as a mailman? You sleeping? Sorry, I had to scold Beck. He's been acting really weird all of a sudden. Anyway, is this the same mailman that John was talking about? The fake one who hung out with him? That's the one. They are currently emptying my mother's liquor cabinet in an attempt to prevent her from overindulging herself. Oh, are they drinking it? No, I think they're just dropping it into the woods with their magic powers. Oh, Do they know that she could just go out and buy more liquor? That's something you can do where you live, right? Yes, well, not exactly where we live. I think the nearest boozery is a good 20-minute drive. I'm not actually entirely sure where my mother got it all. We don't own a car, as far as I know. Sometimes it seems like she has the ability to just make things appear. There we go, thank you, Rose. Is actually into the whole void aspect. So yes, I guess this Roxy does have like voidy powers. Just as well, that was never mentioned. Like Dirks' bro, who is Dave, and Roxy's mom, who is Rose. Not sure their time and light aspects respectively were into play or mentioned at all. Anyway, having more introspection with a freaking video game that I guess it's kind of canon. Anyway, I don't know anything about them. I'm sorry. I'm still pretty sure magic is fake. At least the kinds of magic you're talking about. There's probably some... oh shit. There's probably some real magic out there somewhere. Yes. For instance, the sword that lets you spy on your hostess' private correspondence while you are stealing her mother's libations. That was like a phasing out of the pester log. You freeze. With a contrite zap, you reappear in front of Rose. She sets her phone down and props her chin up on a delicate fist. Sorry. You honestly don't know what got into you. You just couldn't resist using your powers for evil. Haven't you heard that with great power comes great responsibility? Rose is right. She's totally right. You've only had this power for like a day, so you still aren't used to the idea of being able to just zap all over the narrative. Clearly, you did not appreciate the implications. Zapping all over the narrative sounds potentially stressful. Oh, you bet. You're incredibly stressed right now. Rose laughs. You apologize to her for stealing all her mom's drinks. That was kind of overzealous of you. No, actually, I thought it was hilarious. I've never really been one for pranks. That's always fallen more on John's wheelhouse, but there is nothing wrong in occasionally stepping outside of one's comfort zone. Let's do the vodka next. Oh, she joined. The two of you working together gets the place cleared up pretty quick. Cleared out. You sap Rose along with you to the bright clearing in the field, and for a moment, she just stands in a sunbeam, blinking up at the cloudless sky. Her expression says she still might not be totally convinced any of this is happening. When all the liquor has been transferred from the bedroom to the woods in a big glittering dragon's hoard of booze, you and Rose fall down next to it in a messy heap. Well, you fall into a messy heap. Rose lowers herself daintily, sitting more on her knees than her butt, probably to keep her skirt from getting dirty. You get the idea that even though she lives in the middle of nowhere, she doesn't spend a ton of time outside. You tell her again that you're sorry you spied on her correspondence with her green friend Gigi. Also, you hope she is not going to get in trouble with her mom. I am not unduly concerned. I'll tell her where it all is in a couple days, although by that time I'm sure at least a good third of it will be water damaged. I'm sure this will have fantastic implications for our relationship, and not at all exacerbate the emotional problems underlying her addiction. You laugh awkwardly. Well, now you kinda just feel like an asshole. Rose lies back on the grass and raises a hand to trace the curves of a fluffy white cloud. She closes her eyes. Perhaps it's just projection on my part, or wishful thinking, but ever since I met you, I feel like something has changed. Or rather, something has failed to change, if that makes any sense. It's probably nothing. Her eyes flicker back open, endlessly purple, fixed on the sky like she can see something beyond it. And once again, you feel that there's something really crucial that you forgot. But at least, you made a new friend. Yeah, they're forgetting about the game, aren't they? And even if you don't think Rose's brand would ever allow her to call you as such, a friend, you are lying in a sunny clearing next to a pile of alcohol. And honestly, it doesn't get much friendlier than that. Aww. So the robe was... yeah, that color. I don't know why I thought the robe was going to be black or something. Would have looked good on the protagonist. Also, the squirrel is... I guess the squirrel is like sleeping. Oh. Yeah, she doesn't get out much. That's so crazy. Alright. Chum roll. You convince John not to play a game. This probably won't have any far-reaching narrative consequences. With great power, you help Rose win... Oh, you helped Rose with her mother's alcoholism. Your method was surely foolproof. Cryptid McWhiskers. You participated in a time-honored tradition of renaming someone else's familiar. Ah, Aradia. The emote. Nepeta. Fishing for compliments. Oh no. Yeah, I think that's all I have left in me for tonight. First part of this little new series. Well, I don't think it's going to be little, probably same amount of parts. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be the same amount of parts as reading Homestuck. I don't think so. Thank you for watching, for making it this far. And I'll see you next time. I'm sure of it. I'll see you next time. Also, I'm pretty sure I'm recording like an entire month after I recorded part 12 or so. Yeah, the final part. Wow, it's been a month. Yeah, you could say that. Like, you could say that I'm taking a month-long break, but I never specify, like, when. And yeah, I said I was going to do the epilogues first. Oh, God, no. This is gonna be so awkward. Well, here you go, surprise Pesterquest drop. Anyway, thank you for watching, thank you for sticking by, for tagging along, and I'll see you in the next one. This was Diabolical. Goodbye, good night.